First thing first, if we are introducing something new field, definition is really, really important. We have to stick to this academic definition. Manufacturing system is an objective-oriented network of processes through which entities flow. That's the academic definition. Can you see the yellow word? The reason I put the yellow color is these are key words to define this thing. The first thing is objective. It has some objective, purpose, goals, and it is a network of processes. And throughout this system, entities flow. Entity could be raw material, part, information, other things. Okay. Group technology, well, arranging items into groups according to some principle or system whereby similar things are brought together by virtue of similarities and then separated according to their differences. That's the key. Okay, in order to do that, we have to very carefully plan it first. You know, the pros of this group technology is, efficiency, getting the economies of scale out of non-uniform product flow. The downside of the group technology is it requires humongous amount of additional effort in planning and scheduling. Okay? One of these key characteristics of the group technology applied out there is coding system. Think of it, if you're working in a mass production factory, every part is the same. So once your part is going on, you just press it and send out. You don't actually have to distinguish this part and that part because everything is the same, identical. However, in terms of the group technology, every part is different and unique. However, we are exploiting the identity or similarity among these parts. So processing it together, however, this part, even though has higher similarity among them, are unique. Okay? Have to distinguish these two parts, even though those two parts has a higher similarity. By what? Coding system. Have to put, specific number or some very complex coding system to each part. Alphanumeric codings are abundant out there. And since we have two students from Shipyard, you may notice that out there in the shipyard, there are many pieces of metal are going around, but on that piece of metal, the workers are writing a very mysterious alphanumeric values on it, right? But those are not the children's playing. Those coding has their own system of law and has the exact amount of information required to process that part. Okay? Those coding system is different from shipyard to shipyard, company from company. Okay? But anyway, those kind of coding system is one key aspect of group technology. Okay. We've just covered this part. And another definition. Many people will talk about workstation, process, and flows, work center, machine, and the like. And the standard wording is workstation. It's a collection of one or more machines or manual station. So some manual workers' position could be a workstation. Okay, that perform identical function. I put essentially here, so which means if it's a non-identical, it could still be a workstation. Okay? Sometimes synonyms are station, work center, process center, and the like. Part is a piece of raw material, component, subassembly, or assembly that is worked on at the workstation. Intermediate product or interim product is the just same word. End item is a final product or product. The relationship between end item and their part is bill of material. Consumable. It is not actually a part. Well, can you see welding stick out of a ship? We use lots of welding stick, but it is not the part. It's a consumable, right? For the most part, consumables are materials such as bits, chemicals, gases, and lubricants that are used at the workstation but do not become a part of product. Okay? Routing is also very important concept. A routing describes the sequence of workstation passed through a part. Okay? Any question about routing? Yeah. In previous class, I just showed some mixed routing before applying group technology and arranged the routing after applying group technology in my slide. Order is a customer order. Is a request from a customer for a particular part number in a particular quantity to be delivered on a particular time. In Korean, we call 주문, order. Okay? Job. Job refers to a set of physical materials that traverses a routing along with the associated logical information. Every job is triggered by customer order or anticipation of customer order. If customer orders something, your job begins from that part. But without that part, order, for example, mass production automobile company does not wait until they receive a customer order. They just anticipated the customer order. So they produce the same thing and stock it in the warehouse, right? Okay, throughput, very important. Average output of a production process per unit time. In shipbuilding industry, throughput, they sometimes count by number of ships. So some shipyard produce about 50 or 60 ships per year, but sometimes the unit can be different. For some curved plate shop, they produce 500 tons per month. So unit could be different, but by the throughput, it is all about how much product or intermediate product flows through that factory or workstation. Throughput is synonym to throughput rate because the meaning of the rate is the throughput is always divided by the time term. Okay? Capacity, very important. In shipyard, they call it CAPA in short, but it's actually capacity. It's an upper limit on the throughput of a production process. Okay? I think the capacity, that is very, easy to understand concept. What's the capacity of this room? I mean, area, but by the students, maybe 30 or something, that's the capacity. It's an upper limit, right? Raw material inventory is the physical input at the start of a production process. Manufacturing system, we are requiring something to work on, and raw material is the first thing at the chain. Okay, try to distinguish this raw material inventory versus finished goods inventory. Okay? It's an inventory. The something is waiting and sitting there during your manufacturing system. But if this inventory is at the end of this routing, then it's finished goods inventory. If this good is sitting from the beginning of the routing, then it's the raw material inventory. Literally, it could be different. For example, some shipyard does not produce their own decals. They just purchase decals from outside company. Okay? For that company, decals is a final product and could be finished goods. But for this company, this decals is not final good. Okay? Can you see the difference? Okay. Okay, work in process. In short, WIP, and someone call it WIP. And many operational researcher and industrial engineer call this WIP as an evil thing, and they don't like WIP at all. It's an inventory between the start and end point of production routing. It's a synonym to inventory. Okay, and I will discuss why this inventory is so evil in later class. Inventory tons, commonly used to use the measure of the efficiency with which inventory is used. Okay, turnover rate, the ratio of throughput to average inventory. Okay, how you can transform the inventory into the throughput. Okay, can you distinguish throughput out of inventory? Yeah, very important thing. And some people doesn't want inventory at all, so somebody has invented just-in-time production system. Okay. Cycle time is also a very important concept. Given routing, time of given routing is the average time from release of a job at the beginning of the routing until it reaches an inventory point at the end of the routing. Okay. Okay. If you visit some of the automobile manufacturer, at the end of the assembly line, for the sedan will pop out 1 unit out of 3 minutes or so. So cycle time is 3 minutes in that case. But cycle time is not the same as manufacturing time. Okay? Even though it requires about 2 weeks to manufacture a car, cycle time could be 1 second or 3 minutes or so. Okay? Can you see the difference between cycle time and manufacturing time? Okay. Okay. Another thing, very important, lead time. Or build time, I will explain it later. Utilization. Most of the time it's calculated by percentage. Okay. For example, if we can assume the capacity of this room is 30 and we are sitting 6 people here, then capacity utilization is 6 over 30, basically. Bottleneck rate. Bottleneck rate of the line is the rate of the workstation having the highest long-term utilization. Okay. you have to first understand what the bottleneck process is. I think everybody are familiar with the traffic jam. When the 3-lane road abruptly reduced to 1-lane road, then something happens there. And we call this part as a bottleneck because bottleneck is, as you know, this is a bottle, right? Bottleneck. Same thing happens in the factory. If downstream is, throughput is very high, but at some routing stages, if the throughput is very low or utilization is really high, then the bottleneck happens there. Okay? Okay. Row processing time. Okay, it's also very important concept. This is the last one. Critical width of the line is the width level for which a line with given value of bottleneck rate and row process time, but having no variability, achieves maximum throughput with minimum cycle time. I will discuss it in next class because I just keep many things very fast because time is up. Okay.